Guess we'll get going. I'm gonna give it a few seconds. Alright, so this is the original Mega Man Star Force, and to start off here, unlike the Battle Network games where you have to unlock the ability like later on to put in the number man codes, I will be doing them from the start of the game. And that will be like roughly the first like 8 minutes or so of this game is watching me put in these emails. And not exactly riveting gameplay, but it starts to pick up once this is all over. So hopefully someone shows up and starts to talk, because I'm going to need to pay attention to do all these. Oop.
Yeah, gotcha. I think Doc is interested in helping with commentary. I'll bring him in. Bonjour.
Bonjour, je suis Baguette.
How you doing, Doc?
I'm super dead. It's like 7 AM. How about you?
Time zone's weird. I'm doing pretty good. Looking forward to some Star Force.
So yeah,
But what is Star Force?
So what Silver's doing right now, he's basically sending some mysterious entity emails, and the contents is a particular password or phrasing, and if those are correct, he'll get a response that contains an item or power-up. So like various battle chips. I actually don't know what all you can get. I'm sure he'll tell you after he's entered all of them, but it is a bit annoying to enter because it's like, remember, the left screen's the top screen, so he doesn't have access to like the stylus or touch input, so he's just gonna D-pad everything.
yeah, the ability to use the touchscreen for the cipher codes wasn't added until Star Force 3. So even in Star Force 2 it's also annoying. So it's just gonna be watching me cycle through this with the D-pad and such, and I'm very prone to making mistakes. As you see, I'll stop and move in the wrong direction. And I actually wanted to play a game because, as you might have seen, there is a default email that you get, and every time I've done a run, I've always opened that at least once because of how much I mash to get through all this crap. And yes, I do have to back out every single time. So I have to, every time I'm done with the code, I have to back all the way back to the overworld to get the card.
So, why do you run on the Dragon version, by the way?
I'm sorry, what?
Why do you run on the Dragon version?
Oh, the Dragon version is actually faster. It's the fastest version of all the ones because the harder fights in the game are weak to the Dragon power. And not to mention the Dragon form just hits more times than all the other ones. And the GX card that Dragon has does more damage than all the other ones. So
It's top tier?
yeah, it goes from like best is Dragon and worst is Leo. Because when you hit with Leo's attacks, it gives them invincibility frames, and that's annoying. The only way you can stop Leo's attacks from inflicting invincibility frames is by giving it a paralyzer afterwards, but that requires you to have a paralyzer.
I see.
Chaotic, I kidnapped you.
That would explain why Glenn stopped talking.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Alright, and I'm also not looking at chat, so if there's a question, you guys will have to read it off for me.
No problem.
Alright.
But we're almost done with the codes, so don't worry, everybody. The typing simulator is going to be done soon. But this is all setting up for one of the 2 folder edits I'll be doing. And yep, I only do 2 throughout this entire run, and I will explain more about that once I'm done with this.
By the way, yeah, cipher codes are basically number trader, kinda.
Yeah, it's this game's equivalent of the numberman codes, except you can do them from any point in the game. The only thing is, like, much like the numberman codes, the game assumes that you have written them down or found them later on. But because, you know, we just know about them, I can input them at any point. And thanks to Prof, who actually went and found that there were some unused cipher codes in the game that still functioned, but have never go completely unmentioned throughout the entire game. It has changed some of the routing, so now we get an extra few cards that are completely unknown to the rest of the world that have played this game. And then now we get a new weapon. We used to get the weapon called M-Breath, which has like, I think it's a 30% chance to inflict a freeze or a bubble when you hit somebody. But now we replace it with a thing that does a similar thing, but it can only inflict bubble, but it has a better rapid, and that was one of the unused cipher codes. So now I've got everything. So now I'm going to edit my folder and put in all the crap that I just got. So I just set up my folder for basically 90% of this game. Alright, now we can get moving. So, yeah, so the cards I got, I have the SP card for Dragon Sky, Leo Kingdom, Pegasus Magic, I got Fire Ring 3, I got Sticky Rain, which is a contribution by Vash, who suggested that I pick that one up, and it's actually really good. I got S-Fist, and then I got Queen Opuka SP, which does a fair amount of damage, and she leaves poison panels around, which, like 90% of the enemies in this game don't have float, so they're going to be easily susceptible to that. So here we're going to get an explanation on how the brother bands stuff work. I'm just going to mash through it. And unlike the, like you may notice that the text speed is actually going really fast. That's because unlike Battle Network, the Star Force games, the speed of the text is only limited by how fast you can mash. So if you can press the buttons real fast, you're gonna go tearing through the text. And I have an example of what frame-perfect text mashing looks like up on my YouTube, and it's pretty insane. And especially like basically the text boxes only exist for frames if you're doing it perfectly. So just straight up mashing is a good skill for this, because, you know, like I said, the text speed is only dependent on how fast you can push the button. Alright, so now we're Mega Man, and we're gonna go fix a train that has viruses in it. Now, this is where I would, if I had the ability to, I would edit my weapon to give me the S-Fist, but I can't access the Mega menu right now, so I can't change what my weapon is. It is not. There it is. Okay. Wasn't recognizing.
Is it
touching it. What was that, Tara?
Air Force, like perhaps?
You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry. Has anyone looked into doing a task of Star Force?
No. There was a Japanese player on Nico Video that completely misunderstood what TAS meant when he made a video. I get a lot of people that laugh about this when I talk about it, but he thought that TAS meant Tool-Assisted Subaru, and Subaru is the Japanese name for Geo. And so his playthrough had action replay codes and stuff, and he thought that that's what it was. He thought a task was just a playthrough with action replay. Oh, I'm dropping frames for some reason. I apologize. I don't know why, my internet's really good.
Everyone catch the frames, please.
It's fine, we'll just drop our internet speed.
I even lowered some of the settings, and not nothing. But yeah, a task of this game is something that I'm interested in doing, but the problem is that it is a 3-hour game, and tasking a 3-hour game is not what I would call simple. Alright, so we got finished with the tutorial where it explains, you know, very basic things that it's not hard to understand. So now we have the alien Omega Sis, who is interested in what humans do, so now we're gonna go talk to everybody. And I'm gonna talk to all these people in a specific order. Alright. Because now once I'm done talking to everyone, I have to pulse in. And the spot for doing that is just right over here. Once I get past that guy, there we go. Alright, so now this is basically like the game's version of the net, except, you know, not in the internet. So now he wants to invade everyone's personal space, so now I'm going to jump into their transers. And the game tells you need to read their messages, but you actually don't. You can just jump into their transer and back out. And it counts it as you reading their things. So one thing that is different about this from the Battle Network games is you've seen in the Battle Network games where they try to get their HP high enough to be able to buy sneak runs or to escape encounters. Well, the run rates in Star Force are ungodly, and at no point will we actually be meeting them. So instead of being worried about instead of worrying about trying to run away from encounters, we just hope that we get good draws, and then we just fight them that way. Because I think for even like the first comp of the game, you need over 200 HP to be able to run away successfully. And that's a little unrealistic. And so once again, I talked to everyone in a specific order, because now that car that's right there is where I need to go next.
Alright, so we have a question already.
Okay.
How does favorite chip works? Like, do you start with them at the start of battles or something? Like, how does it work?
Wait, what was that?
The favorite chips?
I'm sorry, I can't. Your accent's pretty hard to interpret.
Sorry. Like, you know, you can add favorite chips in the folder.
The favorite chips?
Yeah.
Oh, they have the favorite chips have no real relevance. The difference between, like, when you make a chip a favorite chip, it turns it into a white card, and when a card is white, you can take it with anything else. However, setting up things to be your favorite cards is not only time consuming because you have to press like 5 different buttons to do it for some weird reason, but drawing them all together is also not really gonna happen. And even if you do draw multiple of the cards that you have set to be your favorite cards, a lot of the times mega cards can be taken together already. So what I do is I just let the game auto select my favorite cards, and I just work with that. There are no PAs in this game. The only time that a thing like a PA was added was Galaxy Advances in Star Force 3. So
Yeah,
no
that was the only time.
yeah, so nothing like Life Sword or anything exists in this game. So we're coming up on the first
I
news.
think
like
I think
the-
maybe the equivalent of PIs in Star Force 1 and 2 might be the best combos. Might be.
Yeah, it was best combo is a thing that if you do a series of attacks together, the game calls it a best combo, and then later you could get a best combo card that allows you to replicate what you had done, but it will not cause invincibility frames and will do back to back without the enemy being able to avoid it. And that may sound like really good, and you may be wondering if I do that in the run, and the answer to that is nope, because that is really time consuming and you only get one chance at it. and you have to pay money for it. So that's not gonna happen. Method tried to show me, like he did like a run where he's like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna show you it's faster. And then he wasted like 10 minutes trying to get a best combo, and then I don't think he ever drew it. So it was
So
kind of a...
it was faster, Kappa.
I mean, it was faster at wasting time.
Faster at failing.
Yeah, it's not worth the time. So I've been completely ignoring the cutscenes. So what happened is some of the people that were bullying us before are in trouble, and now we used a car to stop the car they're in. So now here's the first area of the game where we get to look at the touchscreen mechanics, and it's used 3 times throughout this game, or no, maybe 4 times that the touchscreen quote-unquote gimmicks come into play, and thankfully it's not too bad, especially if I recalibrate my touchscreen, unlike I did my practice run. Some of these, especially at the end game, not having a calibrated screen really screws you, because it's very precise taps you have to do, and trying to do that while your screen thinks that your stylus is like 10 pixels off of where it actually is being tapped, that was not fun. I think I like single-handedly wasted like 4 minutes at the end of the game just trying to tap my screen. So the draws like that, like Sticky Rain, those are ideal. I want to get that as much as possible because it destroys pretty much anything. If not, Pegasus Magic SP is also always a good draw. And the optimal draw for the boss in this area is Pegasus Magic, and if you don't get that, then Sticky Rain is a good second place. And I actually, in my practice run the other day, I drew Sticky Rain, but accidentally hit OK too soon. Sticky Rain will leave the boss at 40 HP, and I didn't take a second chip with me, and so I just had him at 40 HP and I had to wait to be able to draw more cards. So I could have had a faster fight, but I messed up. And that's a common thing. You will see me accidentally press OK a lot in this game. And the countering in this game, it works differently from Battle Network. Where in Battle Network, a counter gave you full synchro and allows you to, do double damage in your next attack. Countering in Star Force gives you an extra battle card. So instead of like setting up a counter so my next battle I'll start with full synchro, I will just not be worrying about trying to counter if it's like 1 virus left, because there's no point, because I won't need the extra card that I will get. Alrighty, so we're gonna pick up that HP memory. Now like I said, I won't be worrying about meeting run rates, but I will be worrying about the damage that I will be taking later on. Not so much from bosses or anything. I will be taking damage from bosses, obviously, but there are some parts in the game where I will just be tanking damage for the sake of going fast, and so I'll need a lot of HP to survive through that stuff. But yeah, ideally, by the end of the game, I'll have about 500 HP.
So we have a meme question, actually.
Okay.
So, streamer wins wave scanner percent, Kappa.
Well, I do have a Japanese version, and I could technically do that, but setting that up, I don't even think I'd be able to stream on my DS with the wave scanner set up. Actually, I'm not even sure how that thing works. I'd also need to find someone that sells the thing. I don't think I've ever seen one on eBay.
Yeah, it's like pretty rare. I
How does
guess.
the
Like,
wave
I
scanner
think it's
work
even
anyway?
more rare than the BN one.
The wave scanner, how it works is it's kind of like the noise cards in Star Force 3. You get little things, you scan them, and it gives you bonuses. I think Prof said that he found a way to make it work on emulator or something. Not too sure.
Yeah, yeah. I guess.
It would definitely have to be a different category, because, you know, outside bonuses and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Depending on the bonuses, I guess, if they're useful or not.
I don't know what they give you, honestly. So they'd probably be worth it. I don't know. There's stuff like start with like barrier 500 or something. I'd take that. That'd be OP. Starting with a epic barrier like that, and then plus like 500 HP or something. I'd take that any day. Okay, I don't want you to back up. There we go. Oh, it's an action replay code? Yeah, we won't deal with that then. I'd have to buy the physical thing and do it on console, which I have the ability to do, so I might do that at some point. Just fork up the money for it, maybe. So, now we're gonna go fight the boss. So here's praying that we draw Pegasus Magic or Sticky Rain. Thankfully I'm getting good luck on these encounters, so I'm not getting screwed by that. Star Force 3 Japanese. I've touched that thing several times and just couldn't finish it.
I finished it. Like, when it came out, I finished Red Joker on Japanese, and then I finished Black Ace on the US version. And for me, the Japanese version is way better because of the exclusive features, you know? Like the noise cards and all that stuff.
So the noise cards for Star Force 3 the only thing they removed in the US release?
No, there's a lot of stuff that they removed.
There's basically there's noise cards, which are like kinda as I think it's called a reader on BN, and there's like I can't remember how it's called, but basically when you finalize, you can get a bonus, and like if you have brothers, which has a different bonus, it stacks, and you basically get more turns on finalize, more noise and stuff, and it's really good for PvP actually. Like for online PvP against people, it's a totally different experience.
Yeah, it's the Japanese version. If you use all of the noise Kaizo gear stuff, it's actually just broken. And I think there was one person that did a run of it, and I think immediately it did was 30 minutes faster than the normal any percent run.
Yeah, to be honest, if you know which noise cards you are like, if you know which noise card to use with each noise, it's very easy to be OP. And if you can get a good combo with the noise cards because of how it works, like you can get combo by having sets.
Yeah, it works like you play the noise cards like you play a hand in poker, basically. They all have suits, and if you play it like 3 of a kind, full house, or anything like that, it gives you bonuses.
Yeah, and if you can get like personally on my US version with the cheat codes and stuff, I have a full set, and it's really super OP. Like I have autolock for free and stuff, and I have like sword cards get plus 100 damage or something like that. It's super good.
Yeah, and yeah, Prof has a thing that lets you re-enable that stuff in the English version with an action replay code, if you want to go check that out.
Well, actually, on the like, I'm pretty sure the menus for the noise cards and stuff are actually like they are in the game and translated, but you just can't access them without using cheat codes, which is kinda dumb because like it's in the game.
Yeah, they just locked out your ability to use it. They translated everything, but it just locked you out of using it.
Yeah. That's so stupid in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and Star Force 3 never saw a European release. That's another thing that I didn't know about until like a few years ago.
Yeah, actually, why is that? Like, do we even know why?
It was if I had to imagine, it would probably be because of bad sales in Europe or something.
Probably, yeah.
Because like I know, like at least for me, everyone I knew that was French had Star Force 2, but not Star Force 1. So for me, that did not make any sense, sell-wise. I mean, like it
Yeah.
was super popular.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Battle Network back when those games were, coming out.
Yeah, same.
And, when Star Force 1 came out, I bought it because a friend did as well. And we were going to play multiplayer. And then by the time Star Force 2 had come out, I had to, due to problems with my friend's parents, I was no longer allowed to be friends with him. And so I couldn't play Star Force 2 with him, so I just never... I kind of like stopped at Star Force 2, not because I didn't want to play it, it's just because I didn't have anyone to play it with. And that was my reason for getting the games back at launch. And so the first time I didn't even play Star Force 3 until like 2013 was the first time I had played that game. So getting back on track here, gonna jump way back. The first boss was very bad, got terrible rolls. Actually, still did better than my run from the other night. My split for the first boss just then was 21 minutes. The other day I did it in like 23 minutes. So. And I drew Sticky Rain, so I'm going to talk to all of those things in a specific order, because I'm supposed to check out the museum, and there's a lot of things that you have to examine, but only a few of them count towards what the game considers to be everything. So I just talk to all those in a specific way where I'm back at the door by the time I get the prompt that I'm done.
By the way, how long how long is Star Force happening after Battle Network? Isn't it like 100 years or something like
I
that?
think
It's
200 years.
It takes
after
place
Battle Network?
200 years after Battle Network 6. And in Star Force 2, if you have a Battle Network game plugged into your GBA slot, you can get some extra notes that explain what happened after Battle Network 6.
Actually, yeah, I think I did that side quest once, maybe.
It's pretty interesting stuff. And now here I get to talk to everyone. I'm going to examine Jupiter here, because that gets me a free HP memory. What's interesting about this game is we're about to answer a question about how many planets are in our solar system. And this game, despite coming out at the time that Pluto was considered a planet, the Capcom decided that they did not want to consider it a planet. So if you answer 9, you're actually going to get it incorrect, despite thinking that the time the game came out was relevant to that question. Which I thought was interesting. Especially like replaying, and I was like, oh, it's 9, right? It's like, because this is 2007. It's like, nope, it was 8, because Capcom did not like Pluto, apparently.
Capcom predicted the future again.
Yeah.
First with BN predicting smartphones and the internet. Now it's Pluto.
Rip Pluto. So basically, what's
That
happening?
feel when not good enough to be a planet.
Yeah, get owned, Pluto.
Sorry.
So a crazy madman has gone and made everyone spin in circles, and now we're mad. So we're gonna go beat him up.
But I like spinning circles.
I mean, apparently he's doing some other bad stuff, but I mean, spinning in circles is really bad, so now we're gonna have to go teach him a lesson. And we're about to come up to my favorite song in this entire game. Once I get into the area. So I'll make my way over that way.
So, by the way, what are your guys' favorite boss in the game?
My
In Star Force 1, I'd
In
say
Star Force 1, yeah.
Gemini Thunder.
It's Gemini Spark. Crown Thunder is.
Alright, Gemini Thunder is the attack.
I think I like the optional boss Crown Thunder because of how difficult he is. They made him just aggravating, and trying to S rank his SP version is a nightmare.
Personally, I think it's called Ice Pegasus, like the SP version.
In the Japanese name is Ice Pegasus. The English name for it is Pegasus Magic.
Oh damn, close enough. I think it's like a really interesting fight, and it's pretty hard, for me at least.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't considered a planet, then that's news to me, because I swear that it was still considered a planet. So this is my favorite track in the entire game. This music is so good. And now here is probably the most irritating part of this game, is trying to hit ducks with rockets.
I hate this part, to be honest. Like, I think it's easily the worst part of the game, for me at least.
I don't mind the ducks, really. It's just the stars. When I was younger, I didn't really know the pattern, even though it showed it right there. I just get hit a lot.
Personally, I just rush and somehow that works.
Yeah, it's the orientation you're seeing the screens on stream is the same orientation that I'm playing in. So trying to aim the rocket when I'm not like looking up at the ducks is actually difficult. I have to look to the left to see where the ducks are gonna go.
So, when save the ducks, Kappa?
Oh god.
Save the ducks, kill the ducks.
I mean, if it was an option, I kind of have to blow them up, so good luck trying to fight for that one. The stars are my biggest nightmare in this. Getting hit by them is annoying.
Yeah, it wastes like some time because of the animation. Like the animation is really long for what it is. Like you don't lose that much HP in my opinion.
Yeah, you only lose 5.
Yeah, and the animation is like at least maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's just a huge time waste.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and those jetties that you saw in that match, by far the most annoying virus in this area. Those jetties will screw you up. And I'm not sure if anyone else explained this in like a previous game, but you may notice that I'm hugging walls a lot and not like running off the walls when I'm playing. The reason for that is it actually saves frames when you only walk in one direction like that. So when I'm hugging the walls like that, I'm spending less frames moving around and just holding one side.
So technically, like you get less chance of getting a battle, right?
Yeah, it also counts as less steps, because every frame you spend changing your direction is another frame towards the frame counter. And there's very few times in this game where you'll reset the frame counter, or the step counter, rather. Yeah, wasn't gonna be able to avoid that one. That he's in the air, I think. Yeah. Alright. It's a good thing I grabbed the sword. making that as important. Okay. You'd be surprised how much like focus it requires to hit these ducks, especially with the rocket's hitbox being, I swear to God, RNG. Sometimes it'll go right through them, sometimes I'll hit them from a mile away. Alright, I just want you to back up. Oh, well, that's a free time waste. Yeah, at a later part in the game, it's actually safer to pulse out and back in to reset the step counter, and I'll get to that once that happens. Yeah, that's a prime example of me wasting a card. It usually only happens during the Gemini Spark fight, but whatever. Yeah, the ducks and the triple jammer SP fight are the nightmares in this game, and running this game. Well, the triple jammer fight is just a nightmare altogether. Casually, it's probably a joke, because at that point you probably have like a really stacked folder and a lot of HP, but in the speedrun it's a nightmare, because you can get killed really fast. And it'll be one of the few parts, or one of the few times in this game where you'll actually see me be worried about dying. I'll be worried so much about death that I'll actually be doing safety saves. Oh. As you can see, these guys are not exactly friendly, these jetties.
Damn, this fight.
Hopefully I get an HP drop, because they kind of bullied me. Alright, there we go. We good, don't worry. I don't have to save.
Saved. Yeah. Saved by the HP drop.
Yeah. At a later point in the game, I will be picking up a weapon that gets rid of my ability to get HP drops like that. And if the situation gets bad enough, I may just switch weapons so I can get HP drops. This kind of encounter is my nightmare. Alright, we got Flicker Kick, we're good. Another good card to have. I'm doing this on VC because the Virtual Console for DS, inside the files for the Virtual Console games, has a single zip file that contains a ROM for the game. And so all you have to do is replace the ROM, and you're golden. That's all it takes, is just replace the ROM inside the folder. The biggest concern that I had was if the emulator was capable of handling the battlefield, because even some like actual DS emulators on computer don't do a good job at handling the battlefield in this game. So I was actually kind of shocked to see that this emulator can handle them, and it actually doesn't crash at any point, so we don't have to worry about the emulator crashing.
That's some nice emulator, to be honest.
Yeah.
Good shit right there.
Yeah, I have a video on one of my YouTube channels explaining how I did this and showing off the thing. Also, that was an example of why I feel the hitbox is random. That should have been close enough to hit him, but it just didn't. Can I stop getting this encounter? That would be great. Okay, wasn't gonna bother wasting time drawing more cards. Okay, only a couple misses throughout the whole run, or that whole go through, so that's not bad. Could have been worse. So now we get to fight the boss.
So by the way, how come you actually run Star Force 1? Like, why not 2 or 3 or another one?
Star Force 2's speedrun is boring as hell. Star Force 3, it's because I go through like a phase where I feel like I'm interested in that game, and then I realize that I don't want to do it. And then Star Force 1, mainly because it is actually, unlike a lot of people, I actually really like Star Force 1. It's probably one of it's like my favorite Star Force game. A lot of people are like, it's one of the worst.
Well, to be honest, like Star Force 1 is not bad, that's for sure, but I think if you compare it to Star Force 2 or 3, it's definitely the weakest one, at least for me, like gameplay wise and stuff.
I'd still rather play Star Force 1 than 2, to be honest.
Yeah, well, like Star Force 2's speedrun is play as Tribe King and just charge shots and beat the whole game. That's not exactly what I'd call interesting.
Like with the wave command and stuff?
Yeah, you just use wave commands and destroy the whole game.
I find that kinda stupid for a speedrun actually.
Yeah.
Like Star Force 2 has so much more to offer than that.
Someone actually linked me a video where a guy did a review of all 3 Star Force games, and he considers Star Force 2 to be one of the better ones. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. And he goes, it has almost no padding. I'm like, have you seen the Skywave? The Skywave itself is the padding in that game.
Yeah.
I hate the Skywave so much. If the song for it wasn't so good, I'd want to kill myself every time I step in there.
Actually, I think like even online against player, Star Force 2 was pretty good, except for Europe.
Oh yeah, Europe got the horribly neutered version of the game.
Yeah, like you had no wave commands, you could not get the wave command cards, I think, and like basically the chips overall were stronger, but online that was not good enough.
Yeah, if you try to play Star Force 2 online while you're being on a PAL copy, you were putting yourself at a major disadvantage. Every other player from every other region just has the upper hand in every way, shape, and form.
That would seem odd, but that would seem odd that they would just remove it for Europe, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Is there any reason why they did it, or was it just random?
I think there was a reason, like probably because of, like you know, there's like maybe there was some guides in Japan about wave commands, probably even, because I mean, we did like when the game came out, no one knew which wave commands to use for getting specific cards. Like it took a while to find a complete guide with all the wave command cards.
But didn't they release the wave command guide booklet thing with the game? Or was that released like separately after the game was already released?
I'm pretty sure it was a separate thing like usual, and
I remember
like,
seeing those guides around GameStop a couple years back.
because I know at least in France, guides are pretty rare nowadays. Like, it's very specific. I think like the most recent guide we got was probably Resident Evil 6, and before that was probably I'd say maybe a GameCube game. So that's pretty old, to be honest. But still, that was a stupid idea, in my opinion, to get rid of the wave command system. Because, I mean, everyone has internet. Well, almost everyone.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to find the wave command codes eventually.
Yeah. And it's like, well, if you really want to, you could get like the guide from Amazon or somewhere else. I mean, if I can do it, I'm pretty sure everyone can.
Yeah. Actually, no, we'll just go for the easy strat. There was a lot removed from Star Force 3. Like, if you've played Star Force 3, you know the extra white cards you can get? That's only like one part of the entire system that was removed from that game. Again, Star Force 3 was just neutered outside of Japan. That's unfortunate. But if you want to play with those features and don't want to buy a Japanese version, you can re-enable them through the use of Action Replay. And everything is completely translated.
Yeah, and it works perfectly fine too.
Yep.
Like even the purpose cards actually. Like, I had a friend who used the codes for online for battling against others people, and like I could get the bonus for from his purpose cards and stuff, just like it's supposed to work on the Japanese version. So yeah, I just don't know why you need to use a code in the US version, because I mean it works fine and is translated. That doesn't make any sense.
No, they probably wanted to make money
It
off
was probably a
the...
lot.
Yeah, the reason why there's not like all the Star Force games in a marathon is because the runners of 2 are Vash and, well, I can do it if I really felt like wanting to kill myself, and Kilios can do it, and Kilios doesn't want to do it, I don't want to do it, Vash doesn't want to do it, and then every runner for Star Force 3 doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, I was gonna learn Star Force 2, then I got really bored.
Yeah, it's just not an interesting speedrun IMO. And then they're like, I can always do Star Force 1. Like, it had the other day was the first time I had done a run in over a year, and I still was only 5 minutes over my PB. Like, I can go a long time without playing this game and still be perfectly fine. That's just that I've spent that much time on it.
By the way, I see in chat someone is talking about the bug tie stuff in BN6, and like Star Force 1 had some bug tie stuff too, right?
It had a crossover with Boktai DS. You could get some extra cards from, or what the localized name is, Lunar Knights, but only the Japanese version can do that natively. The English version you can hack the cards in, and they have like no animations, no card art, but I think they still function.
I see. That was a very nice thing. Actually, like, I really liked crossover, to be honest. Especially on BN games.
Yeah, I like the Boktai crossover stuff. That was interesting. And then
Yeah, sorry. I'll let you finish.
I was just gonna say when the English patch for the Boktai crossover in 6 came out, I immediately went and played that because that was something I was interested in, was seeing what they did with that.
Like Boktai 3, you mean?
Yeah, the Boktai 3 and Battle Network 6 stuff.
I still need to do it because all I
mm,
did was do the crossover battle with a couple friends.
I've yet to do
Personally,
that because
personally-
it always broke on me.
I'd say the BN6 has it better because you could pretty much it's easier to kill the count in BN6 than it is to kill him in Boktai 3.
yeah, like it's more balanced, and Boktai 3 overall is better than Boktai 2, at least in my opinion. Because
So
like
if you're
personally,
playing
I go
you're pretty much at a disadvantage.
like I actually have the game, and I have Boktai 2 and BN5. Like I have all the stuff to play crossover pretty much, except Japanese BN6.
Yeah, those are
And
cheap
like
to come
I have
by.
to say, like in BN5, winning crossover is way too hard compared to Boktai. Like in Boktai 2, like in Boktai 2 crossover, you barely like you don't even need to be good to win. That's how easy it is. Which is funny because in the Boktai 3 and BN6 crossover, it's the total opposite on the Boktai side. Like you really have to be super good to stand a chance.
Yeah, I don't play this with action replay codes. If you try to submit a run of this game with action replay codes, I will scold the hell out of you. I already scold people for trying to submit Star Force 3 speedruns that don't save Sonya's bag.
Well, it looks like I can't submit being Star Force 3 runs done.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault you made the wrong choice.
Hey man, it's all about Bud Shirt.
Haha, nah, dude. People want to talk about Sonya's bag wasting frames, but sure, it wastes the most frames.
Hey man, you gotta be your bro.
So these fights are really annoying. They can be any random assortment, or not, I guess they're fixed, but they're annoying viruses, basically. Just annoying setup, and they have a lot of health. Especially for like this short into the game, they do a lot of damage and have a lot of HP. Thankfully, we have things that do a lot of damage as well. I see the chat's going into which one is better. That's good. I think there's only been like one person that submitted a run where they didn't get Sonya's bag, and I think I like PM'd Terra telling him to look at it, because I actually just wasn't gonna do it.
Damn, dude.
I made the rules very clear.
I guess you really like Sonya, right?
Yeah.
Well, to
I
be
think
honest,
that's an understatement.
Well, to be honest, she is a pretty good character. Like, she has a lot of character development in both SF1 and SF2.
Yeah, the default option is Luna's Tissue, I think it is. And if you choose that, then you're just a terrible person. Nobody does that. It's worth wasting frames for the better opinion. You know, it's funny. You mentioned that I like Sonya, and I can't help but look over at Live Split where the background image is her. not even lying. I also suggest not looking at my Twitch bio.
Everyone look at his Twitch bio, please. Cap.
I think there's only like one thing that doesn't have an image of her on it, and it's Splatoon. Alright, so I had to destroy all of those to get the power back or something, whatever. I don't know. Plot.
Right, there's a plot in this game.
Yeah, there is a plot, but I'm only gonna delve into it at the very end of the game, where I try to give you the too long didn't read in like 2 seconds. But for now, we're just gonna ignore the fact and just assume there is no story. You're looking at my Twitter bio, MC Power. My Twitch bio is the one that might be problematic to some people.
So I heard you speedrun games.
Supposedly.
That's interesting. Supposedly, never mind.
Yeah, like the base premise of this game is good. But if you just look at like the very bare basics of what the story is and ignore everything else that happens between the start and the end, then you're good. Alright, so now we get to start the next scenario. So, the last time I did a run for these marathons, I talked about how I thought that there was a faster method of traveling during this part, where at the end of this area, I would pulse out and walk in the overworld to the next area. And I was like, that's probably faster, because then you'll move faster, and you won't there's no chance of encounters, so it'd be better. And the practice run I did the other day, I decided to give it a shot and see what happens. If you back out and go to the next area to try and pulse in, Geo tells you there's something stopping you from doing that, and so I wasted like a minute walking into an area you can't do anything from.
Nice.
Alright, so here's a fun little mini game. So the way I do this is, you'll see I'm only shooting in one side right now. Like, I will only reach over to the left side if I see notes there. And the reason for that is because I'm right-handed, so my hand is on the right side of my gamepad, and so I'm less likely to see things coming from the right side of my screen. So I just prioritize the right side of the screen until I see things on the left side. And it works out pretty well. And one thing that just pre-firing in directions like that actually helps, because your bullets will still travel regardless if there's nothing there. So you can sometimes hit notes that have only been on screen for like a fraction of a time. Nope, I don't bother with HP up for most of this. Reason I explained at the start, at no point am I bothered by the encounters or trying to run from encounters, because at no point will I actually meet the requirements to do so. So instead of trying to build my HP to be able to run from encounters, I just fight the encounters, because it's faster than trying to go out of my way for HP. I mean, I could draw a circle, or I could do what I do. Because there's no difference. It works either way. You can also, I found this out like a few times ago, was you can actually use the D-pad for this too if you don't feel like using the touchscreen.
That's pretty nice, actually. Like, that's a pretty nice touch, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it was Method that told me you could do that. I'm like, really? I don't believe that. And then I had to go through and play it again to get to this point. I was like, oh, you can use the D-pad.
Which is kind of nice because I actually never noticed that before.
There will be some things that I'll need to tank later on, but when I get to that part, I'll have the health that I need to do it. Plus, there is a fight coming up relatively soon where having low HP is actually better. And there's no point prior to the... Well, there is a point where you can lower your HP if you have a lot, but that's just wasting time. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. It's not too much longer. Just know that the reason I have low HP is because I don't need it, and I'll be getting more later. Oh. Yeah, for the parts where you can shoot the notes, you can use the D-pad or the touchscreen for the arrows. Okay. I mean, I probably could just rotate the analog stick, but who cares? Alright, so now here's the boss fight, which shouldn't take very long. Okay, we got a relatively good roll. What? The amp blocked it. Are you kidding me? I've never seen that. Well, I get a second chance with it. Okay. Alright. So there's that fight. And now we get an unskippable cutscene where I'm just gonna have to mash. Because that's all I can do.
How about you? You can't skip this one?
Nope. This is one of the few cutscenes that you just can't skip. So, hope you like hearing the sound of me mashing buttons. 'Cause that's pretty much all that's gonna happen, is I'm just gonna mash until this is all over. There's 4 cutscenes like this, I believe. Haven't bothered to count them. All I know is there's a few, and I don't like them. I should also use this time to address something. The reason that, unlike a lot of other RPGs where they lower the character limit and their character's name, lowering your character, like changing Geo's name to G, doesn't save any time whatsoever. The reason being, for some reason in this game, text boxes that include Geo's name will still fill out an extra few spaces as if it was there, Like if you change the name to G, they'll still fill spaces as if his name was Geo for some reason. And then not to mention text boxes where his name are present, you can just mash through, and they're mostly only in spots like this where you're just going to be mashing as fast as you can anyway. So changing your name is just not worth it. Oh, I'm not using a DS right now. I'm using a Wii U gamepad. This thing is getting murdered. Okay, I'm finally free from that. Ugh. Jesus.
That was long.
Yeah. It is not fun. Just sitting there mashing A and B, waiting for it to end.
By the way, does the other games have that, like cutscenes you can skip?
I don't think Star Force 2 and 3 have any cutscenes that you can't skip.
That's really weird, in my opinion.
I might have one, but hard to say.
No, I did not accidentally fill it with spaces. And of course you didn't see it fill spaces because I have the name as Geo, not G. Alright, so here we're coming up on the fight that I was saying where having lower HP is just better. Okay. Alright. So here's the fight where you can either survive for 2 minutes, I believe it is, or you can let him kill you. And obviously letting him kill you is faster. And that's why having less HP is better, because you save more time on that fight alone. Just letting him kill you. Or you can, you can fight it out for 2 minutes for some reason. I don't know why you would do that. But I am also coming up on one of the few points in the game where I actually will buy HP. Someone's making noise in my house. Oh, and another thing about why Dragon is better is we're about to fight the satellite admin himself, and unlike Pegasus and Leo, who move a lot, Dragon only moves like 2 spaces. So he's just easier to hit. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, Prof. It's short. It adds spaces if my name is lower than Geo. If my name was G, it would have 2 extra spaces. But my name isn't G, so there's no extra spaces. Alright, so first time I'm gonna buy health. Wow, I'm getting bad draws. This is an awful fight. Oop. Also, unlike a lot of games where people lower the name count to lessen text boxes, there will not be any less text boxes because your name is different. So basically just changing your name is a complete waste of time, because not only is, text mashing really fast anyway, but your name already starts out as Geostellar and you already start out on the OK button. I'm getting screwed with our encounters right now. Holy. I went for that. Oh my lord, the encounter rate is ridiculous. So this fight, I get something decent. Of course, heals him. So the guy in the back there heals units, so I'm gonna want him dead real quick. Thankfully I got this, so it's just gonna break him. Oh yeah, that's another thing about Star Force 2. The encounter rate in that game is straight ungodly. I don't know what it is about that game, but it feels like you get an encounter every 2 steps. Yeah, cloakers are not worth it in this game. They're just not worth it. Like, my health is 170 right now. I think to be able to successfully use cloakers and get away with, like, lowering my encounter rate here, I would need to be, like, in the 300s for HP. Maybe over 300. Oh, baby. Leo Kingdom against Dragon. What a good first draw. Alright, that was a really good fight. He got bodied.
Damn, it was nice.
Very optimal draws for that.
By the way, has anyone done a run but with brothers? Like, I mean, like real people? Like adding real people as brother in each game or something like that?
The use of outside brother bands is banned because brother bands can be modified and hacked.
Okay. Because I was thinking like maybe you could get a lot more HP with that, and that would be pretty good for Agunters, to be honest.
We've talked about this before, Prof.
Brothers.
We've gone back and forth about this, Prof. You even provided proof that it's based on your HP, and yet you continue to say that it has nothing to do with your HP. So now they finally got Gio to go to school, so now I get to talk to everyone that is not going to be at all concerned at the fact that I haven't shown up in years. I talked to the desk. That's epic.
Desk have feelings too.
Yeah, we've had that conversation many times, Prof. Like, you provided it, I think even it's like HP and then a chance of being able to run, and then like the next year, when I mentioned it, you're like, it has nothing to do with your HP. You shouldn't say that, even though it does, and you've provided proof that it does. All you really didn't need to know is there's no point in cloakers in this game. Alright, so there was some setup for the next scenario that we're going to be doing here in a second. And this is a part where I will be tanking damage, and I will most likely be saving a few times and praying for RNG to save me from death a couple times.
Oh yeah, this part. I actually like that idea for some reason. Like the minigame design, you know?
Yeah.
But the boss design, on the other hand, I find it kinda lazy, pretty lazy even.
Oh yeah, the boss is annoying and is like completely worthless.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure the chip, the card is pretty bad also. Like I don't remember using it even once.
Yeah, well, the card is decent. There is even a cipher code for it, but we can't use it because the cipher code for it contains the word glasses, and the game censors it because it has ass in glasses. And so you
What a
can't.
nice game.
That's why that's one of the codes that goes unused in the game's data because of that. Oh my lord. I'm bad at video games.
Don't die, please.
It's not about death, it's about how I missed an easy sword.
Stop missing, please.
Oh, he interrupted my sword. What a god. He is a god among men. Oh, I think he has invincibility frames. Yep. Epic.
Top tier, man. Top tier.
Don't mind me, just choking. No biggie though. Now, for the sake of my sanity, I'm going to pulse out and back in so I have my health. Alright, so that was a tutorial on how to use the Star Force ability, which may or may not come up a few times. Sometimes it's not worth using because you're just wasting time watching the animation. And sometimes it's actually worth it, like on the Gemini Spark fight. The chance of this getting record were probably pretty slim to begin with. My actual record has like probably the most godly boss RNG. I got like perfect draws on every boss. And I'm already nowhere near having that kind of luck. Oh my. Game was trying to force me into using it. Oh. That was unfortunate. What is this? That guy kept hiding behind his block. Like a punk. Alright, so here's the best part. We get to answer math questions, except I'm not going to be answering math questions.
Homeworks are useless. We all know that.
Screw math. Math is for dorks. The biggest problem with Leo's attacks are the invincibility frames they cause. And so, if they didn't cause so many invincibility frames, it would be a bit more helpful. I always try to make Leo's attack the end one, because that way I can just string together a bunch of really strong attacks, then end it with one that puts him in a state where I can't hit them anymore. So yeah, there is a slight chance that I may, or I probably won't die, but there's a chance of severe danger because of tanking the damage from all these paper, from all of the paper. English is hard, guys. But as long as I like keep refilling my health through these battles, I should be okay.
By the way, how does the encounter works in this section? Like, you cannot get encounters like you can't get into battles when answering the questions, right?
Yeah, you cannot get into encounters while the pages are flying, but your step counter goes up. So when you finish the area, the step counter unleashes its fury onto you, basically. Which is why 90% of the time you'll see me get into encounter after a cutscene.
That's so weird because like in BN usually you still get like you can still get into battles while doing stuff like puzzles and you know.
Yeah. I was hoping it would have been an HP, but whatever. That's no problem. The next scenario is the one where I'm really afraid of dying, because the amount of damage I will tank in the next scenario far surpasses the amount that I'm tanking here. So yeah, if it looks like I'm taking a lot of damage here, just wait until the next scenario, where the danger will be absolutely real. Oh yeah, the next scenario has absolutely killed a record run that I had.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
What happened?
I died on the boss like 3 times, I think it was, because I went into the fight with 1 HP.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That was probably a very bad idea, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there wasn't, like, it was either that or go into the fight with 1 HP or grind for HP recovery, or for like a battle that will recover me. And so I just did the fight with 1 HP, and after like 3 or 4 attempts I did it. Wow, that was all bad ones. Yeah, that is the next scenario. And it shall be something special. Maybe I'll get lucky like Method and go encounterless.
Hey, Sphira, what's up?
And I'm also doing these in a very specific order, these little areas, because they all lead into different parts of the map, and so I'm just going into specific ones that lead me to the next one. Put forth the least amount of backtracking as I can. here we're gonna pick up an HP mem. Alrighty. We're almost done, and we get to fight the boss. The boss of this can either be really good or really bad. If I get really godly draws, then I can finish him in a matter of seconds. Or I can get really bad and it can just draw out the match for however long the game feels like screwing me. Alrighty. Alright, well, that'll put me in a state where I'm actually gonna save. Alright, well, that was not something that I would have, liked. Hopefully this gives me health, this encounter. Yeah, I only do Star Force 1. Oh, didn't get an HP. Alright, well, looks like we're doing YOLO strats. I can absolutely do this fight without getting hurt, though. So if it comes down to that, I can do it. Unless this gives me health. It did. Nice. I'm still gonna save, because I'm bad. Okay. Not exactly a good draw, seeing as he's not weak to this. If that was Pegasus, that would have been good, because he's weak to that. He can be weak to that in fire state. That was... Wasn't too good, wasn't too bad. Could have been worse, but whatever. Take what I get. I think I'll be plenty fine for getting underestimate, though. I can't even tell how good of a pace I'm on because my splits for my record run are long gone. I don't have them anymore. So I can't tell if I'm doing good or not.
Well, it seems to be going alright so far, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd have to look at like my splits from the other night to see how well I'm doing. I talk to the desk again. I get to talk to everyone again. Alright, well. Yeah, that's what I figured. I knew I made a mistake. Want. That's the most common mistake I make, is not going back to the classroom. So now someone's invading the school, so now we've got to figure out a way to get rid of him. It's getting really hot in my room right now. Probably because of like everything in my room running at once. Probably is not helping the temperature. Alright, now the game wants us to backtrack to where we started, but instead of walking there, I'm just going to pulse out and pulse back in. So not only is it faster, but it also resets the step counter. Oh, didn't mean to go in that room. That's where I wanted. Okay. Oh, they absolutely could have made a fourth one. They just decided not to do it for some reason. It probably had some reasoning behind it. It was probably something about the sales of the game. Because apparently Star Force 3 didn't sell that well.
Oh, it did?
Probably had something to do with being only released in 2 regions, but you know, I'm no expert.
Damn.
Alright, now we're gonna pick up a new weapon. We haven't changed weapons since the beginning of the game. And this one makes it so the only drops we'll get from battles are money, but the Buster is miles better. Now we have to talk to the signs and such. Because learning... I'm not learning a thing by skipping the text, so... Alright, so now things are going down. This is where we're getting to the next scenario. The one that is probably the most problematic out of all of them, just simply because the viruses in this upcoming area are the most annoying, especially with some of the combos the game decides to put them in. There's also the return of these guys.
I kinda like the concept of that area actually. I don't know about you, but yeah, I like it. Like, you know, the boss area, I mean.
Yeah.
Doesn't the next area like constantly drain your HP if you get hit by like one of the objects or something?
Yeah,
Yes.
like you're chased by snakes, and if they hit you, you get poisoned for like poisoned until you speak to a prog or whatever their names.
Yeah, you have to go through the area and to collect antidote, and if a snake hits you, you get poisoned, and the only way to get unpoisoned is if you give the antidote to a Hertz and he gives you some. And we will absolutely be getting poisoned because it is faster. And thankfully, there's one thing interesting about obtaining the antidote is as long as you're holding the antidote, you can't get encounters. And so I'll be using that at a few parts in the comp to minimize my encounters. This guy's annoying, he gets in my way a lot. So now, we have to find a way to stop the snakes from camping the entryway. So we have to go figure out how to stop snakes. You know, typical stuff. That was pretty cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, after my run, I might show off my splits, because my splits are pretty good. They've got some pretty good names. The split for this is called Snakes on a Comp, which is just an awful, awful name, but I find it to be funny. One of my last splits is definitely is by far the best name, and I'll have to explain that one as well when I get to that point, obviously. Because it wouldn't make much sense if I tried to explain it now. So, basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the guy who's in charge of the temperature, so we can make it cold. I may do at some point, like, do a run where I use real brother bands, because I've got way too many copies of this game, So I could easily set up some brother bands. And
To
see
be
if
honest,
that would help.
I really like to see that, mostly because of the encounter rates and stuff. Like, I really wonder what you could do.
Yeah.
And like in the Star Force 1, brothers don't do much compared to 2 and 3, but just imagine 2 and 3, like at least for 2, there's so many abilities you could get and add to the run. Like, there's so much more thing that could be done.
Yeah.
And in 3, that's even more interesting because that's when they added more abilities about battle, like reflect and the side lock and all that stuff. It will be very amazing, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, and not to mention you could set up the cards you would get from the roulette, and you can just make them OP stuff. Some really good chips.
Yeah. And again, if you add noise cards to that, then it's just GG. Like, if you know what you're doing with the noise card and the abilities, it's GG. Like, I don't think you could really lose, even with being bad, unless you're fighting Sigma boss, like maybe Serious Sigma or something like that.
Yeah, I'd
'Cause-
definitely be interested in doing it at some point. Just getting it set up might be annoying though.
Yeah, probably.
Especially because I'd be doing it with real console. So every time I want to make a new brother band, I'd have to swap out the cards in my 3DS.
Well, at least you will not need to update the brothers. That's already a good thing, I guess. Because I remember having to update brother data in 2 and 3, and well, it's alright, but it still takes time, especially when you have 6 friends
Yeah.
or 6 brothers. Well, to be honest, Strawberry, like I said, with noise cards, it's really easy to it's really easy to finish the main story. Like, with noise cards, most of the challenge will be during the secret boss fight, the Omega bosses and Sigma versions. But in the end, it's mostly better for PvP against other players. Like, literally, if you're fighting if you're fighting someone that knows what he's doing with noise cards and stuff, it's really a totally different experience. Like, it really feels like another game, at least to me, because it's just too different.
I was getting wombo comboed there.
Yeah.
Alright,
But
so
you
this
made it.
is... Here, these guys want us to find antidote for them. So now we're gonna go find it. And when we get it, we trigger some snakes. So this is one of those encounters I was talking about. That guy in the middle, by far one of the most annoying viruses. Thankfully he's dead now. Also, fun fact, this guy, his ability is blinding. He can't blind you if you have a barrier up. So, that's just a bit of information for those that don't know. As long as you have a barrier, you can't be blinded. Got it a step away. Of course, that gives me a barrier.
Damn, dude, so many barriers.
Yeah.
Someone is being too careful.
Alright, now, as long as I hold this antidote, I can't get into any encounters, but I will be running into snakes.
That makes me think of, like, imagine if there was like a bug or something to trigger the poisoning, but for the entire game or something like that. That would be so OP. And I think it might be good. I don't know. Like you would lose HP, that would be risky, but I guess you would save a ton of time from random encounters.
You know, Prof, I'm just surprised that you're still on about that. That was like over an hour ago that we were talking about that.
By the way, what does everyone think about the what is it called again? I think Galaxy Advance or like basically the program Advance in Star Force 3. Personally, I think it was a nice idea, but most of them aren't that much better than the than the card they give, in my opinion.
It's nice, but like, unlike program advances in BN, you can't really keep track of them. So like, it's kind of hard to tell which is which unless you literally go through like every combination you can think of.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, this is the main part where I was talking about how I'd be tanking through a lot of damage. I'd be getting hit by the snakes and then taking poison damage. If it gets bad, I'll switch off the weapon I have, because it makes it so I can only get Seni. And I can change it so I have a chance of getting recoveries. Oh, why did I go that way? I wasn't thinking.
Actually, no, that I think about it. You know, the other day on Discord, I told you about Master Shin,
Yeah.
like as a brother, and I just remembered that was in Star Force 2, and I think he was actually a pretty bad brother to get, and that's like event only in Japan.
Yeah, I don't know. All I remember is it wasn't a thing in this game. The only purpose he served was for best combo, and that wasn't even worth it.
Oh. Because I remember it was kinda the same thing for Star Force 2, and yeah, like you could add him as a brother, and he was actually pretty bad.
Alright, so we're coming up on the first example of me using the antidote to avoid encounters completely. So I have to grab 2 antidotes here. And usually what you would do is you'd grab 1 antidote and then come back and heal a guy and then walk back out here to get the next one. But instead of doing that, I'm going to grab both antidotes while I'm out. And to avoid taking an unholy amount of damage from poison, I will be taking the right side first because it's shorter, and I will actually be avoiding the snakes while I'm over here. Okay, I just wanted that guy dead immediately. I don't know where these guys are, but I hope they're about to get owned. One did. Okay. Okay, so grab this. And now I can't get into encounters. So I'm going to go up here to avoid getting hit so I don't get poisoned, because I'm going to be traveling to the other side of this area as well. And there was a race where Method went through all of these comps without getting into a single encounter. And then he died to the boss and quit. Now here, because I'm already on the walk back, I'm not going to worry about being poisoned. I just didn't want to be poisoned while I'm going through the second part. I'm going to pick this up and wait that out. And now we can heal both of them. I don't know how you get them legitimately, but I've seen hacked saves that have them. Alright, for the sake of safety, I'm gonna switch off the Z Finder. I'm gonna save, because I'm already at low health. Oh, I'm dropping a bunch more frames. I apologize. I don't know why I'm dropping frames. Usually my internet's pretty good. Yeah, there isn't much I can do. I've even lowered my stream settings, and I don't know why I'm dropping. I guess the world decided if the audio was gonna work, the stream shouldn't. There's always gotta be some problem with my runs. Alright, so here's the final section for this area. I'm gonna once again grab 2 antidotes to lower my chances of encounters. And this side has less time to the antidote, so I'm gonna grab this one first. Alright, well, I'm at low HP, but we're gonna try this. Alright, let's give this a shot. This is low HP. What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed.
Alright, stand still for me. Thank you. Alright. That worked.
Nice.
Alright. This is another unskippable cutscene.
Damn again. So many cutscenes.
Yep.
Is this a let's play? Kappa?
Dude, it's not a let's play. I'm not reading the text.
Oh, I see. Good enough.
That fight might have not looked bad, but it could have gone south very fast. I don't know if you guys can even hear it, but I'm mashing away like mad.
Yeah, I can actually hear it, to be honest.
The double thumb strat, though.
Damn. Such experts.
Alright. I think this is where I'm gonna go. Hey, my memory served me right. So now someone's messing with the emotions of these people. Yeah, there's a few cutscenes that you cannot skip. Most the cutscenes you can't skip are ones that involve you getting a brother band. And then there's one joke cutscene where the game makes you think you're gonna get a brother band, but then you don't, and it makes it so you can't skip it.
Right, which one is that? I don't remember that.
It's after
all.
this scenario.
Oh,
Also, thank you for the reminder to switch back to the Z Finder. That guy gets in my way sometimes. So here's the guy that's messing with people. Now we're gonna mess with him. See how that fight went pretty good. Can't complain about that. And now we get to meet up with the character that everyone's confused as to what his gender is supposed to be, even though it's very obvious. And for some reason, Pat likes to hang out in an area that's half flower beds and half dump. I don't know why. He's a weird person. This guy trying to debate in the chat. I'm shaking my head at you. Oh my god, Doc, why would you do that? Why would you copy
I don't
pasta?
know, I just like to.
Alright, we're coming up on the other time that I'm going to buy health in this game.
Well, to be honest, that seems to be some good run right there, Kappa.
This guy puts a block in front of me. I can't use this. That's unfortunate.
What a nice guy.
And then I draw it again. Why? Okay, well, poison got him. That's good. We take those. Alright, now let's get out of here. I don't like hanging around the dump. This guy.
So, by the way, Silver, are you gonna be commentating someone else's run in the marathon?
That would depend if someone actually wants me to commentate for them. I don't think I'm like set to commentate anyone else's run, because, well, despite the fact that I could pretty much commentate any run except maybe 5, I don't think I've been signed up to commentate anyone.
Oh, okay. I see.
I may not run the like Battle Network games, but I've definitely done enough research and I've pretty much learned every single route. I just haven't done runs of any of them. Well, except for 6. I did a run of 6. I also routed the Japanese route for Falzar, which could be faster if RNG was good. But that's only if RNG is good. So now our friend Pat is having a mental breakdown, so we're gonna have to go help him. He's one of the few characters in this game where I guess I should have like explained that the reason that all these humans are getting taken over is because the aliens are taking advantage of them while they're in states where they're really sad or they're really mad. And so all the bosses we fought, the people have been taken over while they are really mad or really upset. Pat is one of the few characters where he's like half mad, where he has like this alternate. He has a split personality of him that is upset, and that's why he gets taken over. His normal form is happy-go-lucky, but because his other half is always mad, that's why he got taken over.
This guy, too mad for me.
Alright, so now we get to play a little game where we get to look for people in the trash. So, the gimmick of this part is we're supposed to find these little hurts that are stuck in the trash. And you're supposed to use these little sonars to find them, and he gives you little hints as to where they should be. But because I know where they're at, I'm just going to go straight for them.
Dude, looking for people in the trash. That seems about right.
Yeah.
Seems pretty realistic to me, Kappa.
Also, going back to way at the start of the run where I mentioned this, there are certain spots in the game where pulsing out and back in is actually faster because resetting your step counter. And this is one of those times. Every one of these comps after I free or all the hurts, you're gonna see me pulse out and back in, because if you're in that area too long, these trucks come by and they touch you, they deal damage and put you back in the middle of the map. And that coupled with the encounter rate, that's not good. So I just pulse out to get to reset that so the trucks aren't coming, and then reset the encounter rate. And we got a jerk healing the guy in the back there. I'm trying to hit the guy in the back, not the jammer. Please step into one of the back throws.
The empty healing, please. What a bad fight.
Yeah, there's a lock-on system, but it has some repercussions to it. If you jump to an enemy, you could still get hit, and the time it takes you to jump to them, you could get stunned, and so you could have your chip completely negated if you get hit. The only the main benefit is the swords.
Also, if you time it right, like with the lock on, you can dodge stuff because you're gonna teleport right in front of the enemy.
Yeah, you can use it
Like
to avoid
that's
damage.
like that's mostly like you can do it in Star Force 1, but it's you will mostly be doing it in Star Force 2 and 3, or at least that's the case for me. Like I did not dodge that much in Star Force 1, but for 2 and 3 it was kinda more needed, you know.
Yeah, well, the problem is, like, a lot of enemies in Star Force 1 can still hit you. Like, if you try to jump to avoid damage, they can still hit you. Because of their,
Yeah.
like, their attack range.
And I think like even the boss fights, like I think in Star Force 3 they actually wanted you to use lock on during boss fight to dodge stuff. Like if you look at the I think it's Diamond Dust or something like that, like the ice boss. Like you can clearly see they wanted you to use it to dodge.
Yeah. Because there's, and like the later games, they did a better job at including attacks that you either had to shield or you had to lock on to jump away from.
Yeah, and I actually really liked that you have these two options, and that well sometimes the shield won't protect you, but the lock on will. That's like I think gameplay wise that's really super good.
Alright, so you see that timer at the top? That's the trucks showing up. But I'm gonna reject them the ability to try to run me down. Yeah, there's a shield. I haven't used it too many times, but it's a thing.
Actually, note that I think about it, wasn't the shield kinda OP in Star Force 1? I mean, couldn't you just block almost all the attacks in Star Force 1 compared to the other games?
Yeah, almost everything
Like,
is blockable.
I think it's
in this
mostly,
one.
yeah, like I think it's with Star Force 2, there's a lot more stuff that the shield won't protect you from. So, Runner, why Star Force over Battle Network? Chat question.
Oh, what was that?
Why Star Force over Battle Network?
Well, mostly because at the time when I decided to pick this up, no one was running Star Force, and we were trying to gather people for a marathon. And I was like, well, no one's doing Star Force. I like the game, I might as well give it a shot, right? And I actually, a fun fact for those that don't know, our last marathon I was actually able to finally meet my goal for this game, which was to have a time that was better than the segmented run for this game. And for those that
Right,
don't know, a segmented run is where basically like you pause, like you can step away from the game and come back later and do it like bit by bit. That's what a segmented run is. And there was an old segmented run from 2009, I think it was, that a friend of mine did, and he did it with an in-game time of 3 hours and 10 minutes. And this guy is like known for putting a lot of time into the things that he does. And so it was a goal of mine to either match or beat his segmented run, because at the time I was really close. Well, our last marathon, I got 3 hours and 4 minutes in real time, and the in-game clock was 3 hours and 6 minutes. So I effectively beat the segmented run in, well, I guess a single segment speed run.
So wait, hold on. The segmented run, it was timed in game time, I guess.
Yeah, because segmented runs use in-game time because you're stopping and resuming at a later time, so you can't really use a timer.
So I guess that was like maybe at 3:06, 3:07 real time. Technically, I mean, if it was a single segment.
Yeah, there was he couldn't recall how long it was in real time. I have talked to him about it, but all I have is
Yeah, I
that
mean,
it
like,
took 3:10.
yeah, like, I mean, if it was like done in one sitting, that would have been like that, probably, like around that time, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's well interesting because usually segmented runs are very hard to beat because most people just aim for the perfect setup and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I know someone that runs Resident Evil 5, and whenever he do a chapter, he literally aims for the perfect RNG, the perfect movements and stuff. Like, it's pretty amazing. Like, sometimes he resets for 1 pixel. It's pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing about segmented runs as well, is if you do a segment and you don't like it, you can just reset the segment and do it again. Because you're not tied to it being single segment, you can just redo the same segment as many times as you want until you get it down.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like, which is it's kind of why I really like to do ILs for speedruns, you know?
Yeah.
Because because you're not doing the full game, you can use different strats, like getting items that you would not get because you don't have time and stuff like that. And because it's IL, it does not take too much time usually to run, and you can just improve very easily. And sometimes, like, you can be good at one level and be very bad at another one. And that's one thing I really like too, because like you can learn a lot about the game from ILs too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm playing Peace Walker. I've been playing it recently, and I've just learned so many things from ILs that I can actually use in the full game speedrun, you know?
Yep. I actually have a friend that does. I've seen him tweet about Peace Walker. Not sure if he's done runs of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's his name? If you don't
Valkyr.
mind. I know. Yeah, he's a runner. I know it. He's world record holder actually.
Oh, nice. Like I said, I've seen him talk about it. I didn't know if he actually had done it or not.
Yeah. He's actually yeah world record holder, and he kinda got me into Peace Walker.
Nice.
He's been finding new strats and stuff. It's very interesting.
So yeah, that was that boss right there is where I was talking about where Dragon gets like an insane advantage over the other versions, because he's weak. He's a he's a harder boss, more HP, and is weak to Dragon. And that's not the
By the way,
only
speaking
time.
about that boss, you can only do damage to the black one, right?
Yeah, you can only damage the one that has a health bar underneath him.
And it's always the same one. I mean, like, it's never gonna be the white one at the start of the battle or anything, right?
Yeah,
I
because
think-
the white one is the clone, the black one is the real one. Also,
Alright, I
that
see.
cutscene, as you can see, I started mashing through it and then I just skipped it. That's because the game fakes you out, making you think that Pat's gonna become a brother, and so about halfway through that cutscene, it'll let you skip it. It just has to like fake you out first, and then it lets you skip it. And so in the cutscene we didn't see, Geo basically got mad at everyone and broke all the brother bands. We're actually coming up to the end of the game, by the way. This is the final setup for the end scenario. And hopefully I won't spend forever trying to solve the puzzles like I did the other day. Because at the end of the game, there is a thing where you have to like make patterns with the stars. And my gamepad's touchscreen hadn't been calibrated in maybe months. And so trying to tap these small little stars was a pain in the butt. And I just couldn't do it. It took me like maybe what should have been like 30 seconds took me like 2 minutes. That's how bad that was. Like I like straight up like set my gamepad down, got like really close to it and was trying to figure out what pixels would count as me tapping the stars. It was real bad, but thankfully before I set up the stream, I recalibrated my touchscreen. So I should be okay.
I don't think I ever needed to recalibrate touchscreen. Like maybe one time for The World Ends V2, if you know the game.
Yeah, I've played that. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I actually finally got it, like a real copy. Like I think it was some weeks ago, maybe a month already.
It's not easy to come across a copy of that game.
It depends. I mean, like, well, in Europe, you won't find it in any store, but if you go on Amazon, you will see it, but it's kinda expensive. There was like a 50% discount, so yeah, I kinda jumped on it.
Nice. I think I tried to play it back when it came out on the DS, and I didn't get into it. And then the game came out on iOS,
3DS.
and so I played it on my phone.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
actually
yeah,
isn't
it
that
was.
bad.
It was actually the phone version. I think I would like it more if if it wasn't on phone, because you don't have the partners. Like, you don't need to focus on the partners.
Yeah, I might go and get it on DS. I think I finished it on my phone. I can't remember. It was a while ago I got it.
That reminds me of, by the way, like, I like it that the phone version had a secret ending, but there's still no sequel,
Huh. Right.
which is kinda sad, because I mean they should really do it. They know everyone wants a sequel.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Companies like to troll people and not make the things they want, but will make the things they don't want.
Yeah, but there was like an interview, actually. I think it was like maybe a year ago, and like the creators said something like, we'd like to make a sequel, but we want it to be as good as the first one in terms of quality and so on. And sadly, the first one, it's easily one of the best games on phone and DS, so I can understand them having a lot of trouble making a sequel, because it's just too good to be honest. Like, it really is. At least in my opinion.
Wow. I didn't think I would actually get a counter off that. That was something special. Wow, and I got another counter on him. Alright, now another unskippable cutscene. Alright. Now we're coming up on the fight that is actually harder than the final boss. I may actually die on this fight. That's how serious that this is. I am going to safety save, and I still might even die. This is like the one fight where I would stop and think that having more HP would be useful, but it is still not really a necessity. And anyone that's played this game casually knows what's gonna happen. What fight I'm talking about. Yeah, see, look at the speed at which these guys move.
Damn, dude. It's like some. That reminds me of the BN6 boss, like in the graveyard.
Okay. And now we have another unskippable cutscene. In this version, there is only that dragon form. There are two other versions of the game. There's Pegasus and Leo, but they're not as good as Dragon.
Damn nice.
So now we get all our brother bands back. +1, so. So now we're getting ready for the setup for the end of the game. The final area in the game is actually really simple and straightforward. If you know... Oh, I didn't mean to go in that guy's house. If you know the answers to the puzzles, it should take like a few minutes to do the final area.
Yeah, final area in this game is pretty easy, in my opinion, too. To be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
in
I mean-
comparison to the other two, like Star Force 2 and 3, the
Yeah.
end game areas are just aggravating.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Also, especially in Tomb, but that's for bad reason, in my opinion. Like, for me, what makes it difficult is the stylus puzzles, you know, on the
The Moo
the
Warriors.
soldiers or whatever they are. Yeah, the warriors. Like, that's a bad thing for me because that's where the difficulty comes from, and it's because it's cheap most of the time. Like you have like 1 second to react at some point.
Yeah.
As for Star Force 3, I think it's because mostly the area is too big, and so like you get too many battles and stuff.
Yeah. It's just a cluster,
But-
and you can get into encounters really easily.
Yeah,
But I definitely feel like they learned from Star Force 1. They're like, we realize this is really easy if people just repeat playthroughs. They'll just know what to do. It's like, let's make the other ones not so easy.
yeah, definitely. And like you can tell in Star Force 3, they realized that how to say that the post game can be really easy too
Yeah.
because of the cards you can have, which is why I think Star Force 3 has the best post game, because it's really super challenging and it gives totally new battle cards even for the boss fights. It's really like I like to say it's like an extension more than a post game for me.
Yeah, the thing that I like about it is like it ends the story, and then the post game is like another story on top of that, because then it goes into the FMEN King struggle to stay alive,
Yeah,
and then
and it was a really interesting story too.
yeah. The problem with Star Force 1 and 2 is the end game was not really a thing. Like, one's end game is just like an extra area you can walk into.
Yeah,
It's not really much of anything.
that reminds me of one more thing. Yeah, I like it, but Star Wars 2, like Star Wars 2, it had the deluxe boss, you know.
Yeah, and it had that it had that world you can go into where like everything's like dead and bland and everything's in black and white. I found
Yeah,
that pretty
that's the
interesting.
boss game. And then there's like codes, like wave command codes to get special boss fights. Like basically the boss are in gold color. It's called deluxe versions, but on the European version you can fight them, which kinda sucks because it's a really good challenge, and I think you get a lot of zenny from it. And in Star Force 3, they kinda did the same thing, but you can still do it on the US version. Like there's the Omega and Sigma version of the boss, and there's like some other boss fights, like you know how there is a base.
The Rogue
like-
RR was a good fight as well. I think it's R. It's either RR or ZZ. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say about that, like ZZ, and I was gonna say it kinda reminds me of the special boss version in 6 and stuff. I can think it's called Base BX or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you pronounce that in English, but yeah. And I really like that in Star Wars 3, like there was so much to do after the game, like after the main story, and there was so many more battle cards to get. Like it really felt like an extension or maybe like another game, and I really like it because even with the noise cards, which makes you pretty OP, it's still very challenging. And personally, I still have a lot of trouble beating Serious Sigma.
Yeah, I really liked, like, I think my favorite part of Star Force 3 was that you could obtain the complete library of Star Force 1 and 2 cards from illegal data.
Yeah, that was such a nice reference, and it was really cool. And for playing, that was really nice to see. I mean, too, gameplay wise.
So
And
I guess
really
should,
liked that.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you can finish.
Okay. I really liked that you could drop Gaga cards from battles 2 and 3, and for some cards you had to drop them from battles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm done.
Okay,
Sorry.
I guess I should get back to explaining what's going on in the story because it's been a while. So basically, what happened is the guy that we've been talking to this entire game, the guy in the hat, he thinks that he can help us find where our dad's spaceship was, because our dad, at the beginning of the game, went missing on his spaceship while trying to make contact with aliens, and he thinks he can get us onto that space station, but he is unable to access where, like, basically, like, I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. The headquarters for the thing, and so he wanted us to find the guy who originally was in charge of that, and which was that old man you saw me talk to for like a century. Now we're trying to find the data for getting into that area, which is this thing right here. So now I have to examine it. Okay. Oh, I went to the wrong spot. Meant to go to Dream Island. I'd say this game's pretty good. Of course, it's not a Battle Network game, but it's a good game in its own right. All the three Star Force games are pretty good. I suggest if you've beaten all the Battle Network games to at least play these ones, because while they're different and not exactly Battle Network, they're still really good. And the ending of the entire series is well worth it. Did I not? I don't think it counted me as reading the whole thing. Yeah, it just didn't count me as reading the whole thing.
Oh.
Alright, so this is the lead up to the end of the game. This is where we're about to go to the final area. I gotta fight one more boss and then talk to some people, and then we'll be in the final area of the game. Now this fight I'm notorious for messing up. It's a refight with these guys. Trying to make sure I don't waste any of these cards. Kind of wasted that one, but whatever. Yo, I actually got a counter off the clone. That's interesting. My chain had to end eventually. He's probably gonna block that. Nope, never mind, he hopped over him.
I wasn't a fan of this part casually, for some reason.
Yeah, redoing the boss isn't exactly interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a lot better than most of the fights against that. Usually my fights involve me getting the Dragon Sky GX and then messing it up somehow. So I'm glad that I didn't draw that to fuck it up. I even did it during my practice run the other day. Was really mad at myself for that. Alright, so now we have to do is just go home, sleep, and then the next day is when we finish the game.
What, you're supposed to finish the game? Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. Oh. And I'll show
So
you
by
how
the way, when is next safety save?
the next safety save is probably before one of the refights.
Alright, I see.
You'll see how like easy the end game part is if you know what to do. It's ridiculously simple. And I'm going to preemptively switch my Navi card to what it needs to be for the first room.
By the way, note that I think about it, doesn't like literally everyone knows that Geo is Mega Man at least in 3? Like I think even in 2?
No, only your main friends know until like your friends are the only ones that know until Star Force 3.
Oh. Because I remember the cutscene when, like in 2, where Geo tells them that he's Mega Man, but there's like so many more people in the town, which is why I never really understood why no one was like talking about it in 3. At least at the start of the game.
Yeah, it's not until like the end of Star Force 3 where everyone knows that it's him.
Yeah, when they get him back to Earth and stuff, I think, right?
Yep. Alright, so here we are in the final area of the game.
For some reason, that ending kinda reminded me of BN4.
Yeah, it does for me too. It's very similar in idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to open this with a password. Alright.
Imagine if you could like skip the boss fight just because you knew passwords and things like that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. It would be so stupid too, in my opinion.
I'm stuck on the Hertz. Get me away.
That reminds me of, I really like the music of that last area.
Yeah, this place is pretty good. Alright, so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to fly around this map and figure out what the constellation looks like. But I know what the constellation looks like, so I'm just gonna make it.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to see that blue spots on the map, right?
Yep.
I remember having such a hard time because I could not see the full map all the time,
Alright,
and I have a very bad memory, so that's wasn't helping. Sorry.
oh my god! What were the chances that he would do that? Well, there's that.
Damn. Nice, dude.
What were the chances that he would move out of the way like that?
That's some sick.
He read me
LG.
hard.
Yeah.
got predicted by a video game.
Damn, dude. It's self-aware, confirmed. That reminds me of in Star Force 1, you can't like lock on with grenades, right? I think.
Yes, just about everything can lock on, except like, you know, obviously mega cards and such.
Because I remember like in the later games, especially I'm not really sure about 2, but I know for sure that in 3 you can literally lock on with anything, which is like it's very funny because if you lock on with a grenade, usually will get hit because that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, one thing I find funny about locking on with grenades is like 90% of the time he'll take one step forward, and that's it.
Yeah. I remember I remember dying a lot online just because of doing this, because like you teleport on the front and he's doing the animation, so if you get hit, you get into that hit animation, and then you just get comboed because you're paralyzed and stuff, because it was a lock on, you know.
Yeah. This is the only Star Force game in the marathon. Runners for 2 and 3 aren't present. Well, they are, but they're not gonna do it.
Boo. Boo.
Star Force 1 will probably be in every marathon just because I'm always up to do it. Like I was mentioning earlier, I hadn't done a run of this game in over a year, and I still was like only 5 minutes past my PB, so I'm pretty much fine to do this game at any point. Yeah, come on, connect. Thank you. Jerk. Aw, are you kidding me? Alright, well I can end it fast, that's good. Well, this would have been like an optimal draw the first time we fought this guy. We're just gonna slightly overkill him. Step into the back. Kindly step into the back. Okay. Jesus. He did not want to die.
Well, dying isn't cool, to be honest. I can kinda understand.
He doesn't get that choice, unfortunately. So, he should have just accepted it.
Damn, what a poor guy. It's not easy being a bad guy in a video game.
Maybe. I'm actually surprised I can hear the audio because my TV is at like 3% volume right now.
This guy playing with almost no audio. Do you even like video games, Kappa?
Well, I have to play games at low volume because my mic is so like it'll pick up on literally anything. So if I have it on like
It's too sensitive.
yeah, if I play it what I usually do, you guys will hear everything. You'll probably hear it louder than you'll probably be louder than me. So
I see. That's kinda why I almost never use my mic for streaming, because like it's too much work to get it right, you know.
yeah.
And sometimes depending on the game, it's too loud or too quiet.
Alright, well that was a
Damn,
good fight.
these boss fights.
Yeah. These are pretty good. We're getting pretty lucky on them.
These boss patterns. I just like this boss looks way too easy, to be honest. I can't take it seriously at all.
Yeah. Alright, well, we get one more boss fight and then we do the final boss.
That reminds me of like they kinda did less minigames after the first one, I think. Like in Star Force, you know.
Okay. Not so lucky draw. Can't give me everything I want though. Leo Kingdom would have made that perfect. Yeah. We're getting pretty boned here on draws now. Now we get to go fight the final boss.
Hype.
And we'll do one last save, just in case I pull a method. So I guess now I can explain that. So back for a marathon, Method did Mega Man Star Force 1 because I couldn't attend. And throughout the entire run, he talked about how the final boss was free. And then he proceeded to die to him 8 times.
Damn, that's nice.
Oh my lord. That guy jumped in the way. So that black hole in the back there can only be killed by swords. And that guy blocked me. Alright. Also, the fact that I got an encounter that early means I'm probably going to get 2 encounters. Yep. And there's almost always a black hole. The only way I can stop him from destroying me is if I constantly move. Not sure if that counts as a... Nope, it doesn't. Oh, these encounters are just wasting my time.
I really dislike these black holes enemies.
I wish death upon them.
Yeah, same.
I want them to cease existence. Alright, well here's the final boss. Let's see here. That's a good first turn. You'll also be seeing me move. Like, I'll almost always be moving during this fight. And the reason for that is, while I'm moving, I'm changing where the meteors that he drops are gonna land. They're... oh, he didn't actually hit me with that.
Oh.
They're intended to drop on your head, but if I keep moving, then it changes where they're gonna drop.
So basically, like you want the meteor to drop somewhere like that's not in front of him, I guess.
Yeah, I just trying to constantly move so I can predict where they're gonna go.
Alright, I see.
And I keep walking. Alright, so now he goes into a second form.
That reminds me of that that part where you see him like transforming into uniform. That's really nice, in my opinion. Like I'm not sure how to explain, but you know the I guess you can say it's a cutscene, kinda. I'm not sure.
I think it could be classified as a cutscene.
Yeah, I guess.
What? How am I out of cards already? Hello?
Damn.
Wow.
Don't die, please.
I don't know how I was out of cards. I didn't even draw any of my brother bands and half the mega cards.
Damn. That sucks. Oh well, shit happens.
That the boss is basically the planet destroyer that the alien race made, and they were going to use it to blow up Earth. Yeah, I don't know why it said I was out of cards. That's really peculiar.
Well, shoutouts to Safety Save for kinda saving the run, I guess.
Yeah, well, you always gotta be prepared for bad stuff.
Yeah, especially in marathons.
I'm gonna wait till near the end of this turn to use this. I mean, that would be low for like a casual run, probably. I think casually I would have been at like maybe over 800, 900 at this point.
Yeah, usually you will be.
Please give me.
Nice counter.
Yeah, it's not exactly easy to counter this guy either.
Yeah, that was nice.
Wow, I'm probably gonna finish at the same exact time as my practice run. That's unreal.
Well, GG.
Oh, there's still a little bit more to go. All the Star Force games have a slight walking segment after everything. Well, except for 3's. 3, you don't have to do another walking segment. And that's time. 3:09:45 is what I finished at on my screen.
Hype.
And my practice run was 3:09:59.
Wow, it's pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, my
See,
gamepad is
hi.
blinking red. This thing can no
Nice,
longer
nice.
last like 5 hours or whatever the default charge is. Yeah, so I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a marathon run if something didn't go bad. I finally get like the previous marathons, it was always my audio was the thing that was bad, but now because the audio worked, the game had to screw me in another way. It could have been worse though. I was actually surprisingly on pace to beat my record until that death. If I had won that fight, I probably would have beaten my record by maybe 1 or 2 seconds.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that death cost 4 minutes. Plus some slight other errors and bad RNG throughout the rest of the run.
So we'll probably just let these credits play out, then we'll start the transition for everyone wondering. I know it's already been going through chat, but we will be doing the Battle Network 2 tasks after this.
And I apologize for all
And-
the dropped frames There isn't much I could do about that.
It's fine.
Let's see, my in-game time, if I had to guess, was probably 3:08. And it's 3:07. But it's not accurate because it wasn't single segment.
Yep, the resets don't count in the in-game time.
Yeah.
With that said,
Yeah, just feel free to come in at any point.
yeah, any final remarks you want to say? You finished a little bit ahead of schedule, but I mean, we're just showing a video next, so it's not a big deal.
I guess the only thing I can say is this year marks 10 years of Mega Man Star Force, and later in December I will be doing a run on the day of its anniversary. So if you went and followed me, that'll happen later